I'm talking about you see her. Like, you legit see this girl just out there in the crowd like this. Like, yeah, like, there you go, right? So I'm like, hold on, like, I gotta think. So as I'm walking, Nate, like, oh, yeah, it's gonna be a fight. Dorothy run up. So Dorothy was running. Gee, this girl was running towards me. I go straight to the office. I'm like, I'm telling the lady, like, hey, I just want to let you know, can you please tell the principal this girl trying to fight me? And I run out and I go back out there. Because first off, I ain't no punk, but nobody came. It was ironic because nobody came in. When I ran into the office, nobody followed me. They waited out there. So I said what I said in the office and then I come out. So as I'm coming out, I'm like, yo, I don't want to fight. So she like, nah, what's up? Come on, I don't care. I'm already suspended. So I'm going to go on ahead and go out with a bang. Like, she did like that. So I'm like, all right. So I take off the book bag. I'm like, all right. She like, come in the street. Because we was like on the sidewalk, but like still like in front of skew. And I was like on the stairs. But everybody was on the sidewalk. So I come down the stairs. I'm like, you know what? Bump it. I don't care. So I took off the book bag, took off my hoodie. I'm like, so Charzetta like, Roshan, no. I'm like, hey, don't. So all I see is my brother. I see Roosevelt. I see Chuck. I see everybody like, no, they getting in front of me like, no, y'all, stop. So she like, yeah, you went to go get your friends. But little as she know, I went to the principal office and here come the principal and the security guard and one of the deans. I'm talking about this dean. I really didn't, like, I saw him a lot, but I really didn't like him. He had like, and he was always in the gym room, but his neck was always spread it out. It was like his neck was like gaining weight. His neck, it was always stretched. And I don't know. I think I just didn't like him because of his neck. So they come, hey, you, let's go to, no. She started. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm the one went up there and I told him. So the principal tell me like, go home. Straight like that. Go home before I change my mind. He like, and I told you to stop in my office. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I forgot. He like, you good? They come to school tomorrow. He like, it better not be no more problems. And the security guard had Dorothy and they went on here. Now, she already got suspended. Now, mind you, I don't know what's about to transpire, what's about to happen. So, boom. They walk in. So, Marky like, see, you know I love you. I got your back. I'm like, I grab my book bag. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Leave me alone. So, Roosevelt like, you good? I'm like, yeah. I'm straight. I'm fine. He like, you mad at me? I'm like, no, I'm not mad. I'm like, I just need to get home, right? So Charzetta like, so are we gonna play volleyball? Straight up, like, I'm trying to get out the gym, but like, she said it like, everybody is standing right there, bro. Everybody's standing right there in the mix. So I'm like, I'm trying to be cool, but I'm mad at the same time. And me seeing Marky face just, it 10 times it. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna just go straight home. She like, okay, bye. So I was like, all right, see you. She didn't hug me. She didn't nothing. Like, this girl she's really being friend. But as she's like showing me she want to be friends, I'm like, okay. I'm adapting. Like, I'm understanding. Like, we're going to be friends. So she went on here. She walks off, right? So Chuck like, hey, like, look, you going to be hooping later? I'm like, who, me? He like, yeah. He like, because Marky said he was going to be at the court. I'm like, oh, well, y'all can hang with Marky. I'm like, I got to go get on the bus. I didn't want to hear. So Marky like, you on my team. I'm not on your team, Sway. I'm not on your team. I'm mad. How they over it. But I'm heated. My brother just crossed the line. He went to go say some business that he shouldn't have just never said. Period, point blank. And I'm not finished with him. I'm a fatality. I'm finna hit it where it hurts at. So Marky end up kicking the bobos with them or whatever. I get on the bus by myself. I get off the bus when I make it close to home. I get off. Boom, I see that it's Legs and a stripper girl, but they on the opposite side of the street. But they talking to like Roy and a couple of more people. It's like a nice little small little group over there. And they all laughing. Everybody got like, somebody got like a speaker and they all over there dancing. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the music. So I look, it did catch my attention. Then when I saw who it was, I kept walking. So as I'm walking, all I hear is, so you gonna just keep walking. So I turn around, I'm like, and I see it's the stripper girl of Legs. I'm like, what's up? She like, so you're not talking to me no more? That's what you call yourself doing? I'm like, no. I'm like, you coming in my house, you gonna get me in trouble. I just told you my mom is not like an ordinary mom. My mom is crazy. She like, okay, so what? But you should have picked up my call. And so Legs was like, oh, he's good for that. So I'm like, look, I had a bad day today. I'm like, I really don't care. So she like, I didn't make you have a bad day. I'm like, you're adding on. And I'm like, had a bad night that night. You came and rung my bell, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And my mom knew it was you. Then you was going to come late at night. So Legs looking like, wait, you going like late at night? Yeah, she going late at night. So at my crib, so they talking. I'm like, you gonna get me popped off by my mom or whatever. Ooh, she like, okay, well, fine. I won't come to your house. I won't call you. I won't this. She like, this gonna be our last time talking. Okay. I hit it already. When I hit it, I really don't care. If you want to distance, just, I don't care. Bye. Adios, amigos. So boom, I go in the house. And my mom is there, Caleb is there, my dad is there, my grandpapa is there. So that was a shock. So I walked in, I'm like, oh, hey. My grandpapa like, hey. He like, look, guess what I got in my hand? And so I was like, what you got? He like, left or right? So I'm like, well, you stuck out the left hand first. So I'm going to go with the right. So boom, it was $50. He like, see, but this what you got? I'm like, oh, 100. So he ended up giving me the 150. So she like, my mama like, where's Mark? I'm like, I don't know. She like, I'm not your friend. Cause I was walking off and I was like, I don't know. And I was putting the money in my pocket. She like, I'm not your friend. Come back. Come here. Who you walking off on? So I'm like, yes. She like, whoever did it to you, give it to who it belonged to because it don't belong to me. So she like, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? You better get to talking. You better get to coughing it out because I ain't gonna be that lenient. So I'm like, it was just a bad day today. And so my dad said, what happened? So my grandpa like, who I gotta go arrest? I'm like, you remember, Mom, when you said like Marky need to find his own friends? She like, yeah. I'm like, you right. I'm like, Saturday, he went with a group of friends that's my friends. And then all you hear is front door now opening. As I'm talking, telling the tea. I'm telling the tea. And this dude I'm telling the tea, y'all. This dude like, y'all don't understand, like, when you telling the business or you telling when something happened and then somebody just happened to just pop in the midst, like, do you be quiet? Do you keep going? Because it all depends on the type of person you are. Me, I kept going. So Marky was like, hey, he saw that it was everybody there. So he was like, oh, you probably snitching. I'm like, I'm not snitching. I'm just telling Mom about my day because she asked. So my mom say, and I can ask whatever I want to ask. So you come on up here. Come on down to The Price is Right. That's what you can do. So Marky like, but what I do? You better tell her everything. You better tell her what just happened. You better tell her. So now Marky like, I better tell her everything. And I'm like, I am. I'm like, you just came in while I was saying something. He like, I can't believe you telling. You finna dry snitch. So my mama like, boy, it's not snitching. This is not, I'm your, what? Stop playing with me, Marky, because I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I'm going to end up have to put you on punishment and isolate you from your friends because you crazy. I need to know everything that's going on. What you was saying, Rody Dody, continue. I'm like, she like, go ahead. And so I say, well, Marky, you said Marky need to find his own friends. She said, I surely did say that. Who going to beat me up? Who going to tell a judge? Who going to take me to jail? I did. Because he do. Because he always hanging with your friends. And so he like, I'm not always hanging with his friends. She said, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. You didn't want to have a conversation. I'm talking to your brother. This is who I was talking to first. Now, if you got a problem and y'all feel like y'all got something going on and y'all think y'all gonna bring the barrage on me, baby, y'all got another thing coming because I'm gonna come like a tornado. I'm gonna come like a hurricane. I'm gonna flip this house upside down. So my grandpa was like, okay, man, let's just figure out like what's going on. So I was like, Marky went with my friends Saturday. So my mama like, okay, but Marky like, but we share the same friends. I said, no, we don't. Because you said that, my friends is my friends. You didn't know them. You didn't even like Roosevelt. You didn't want me talking to this guy. You didn't even want me buttering, none of that. You didn't even want me stuttering at this guy. You didn't even like him. You didn't even like him. And now you talk about, oh, we sharing, they can't get to know. We not. You're lying. You're talking French. Because I don't understand the tone or the language. So I'm like, Ma, no, Roosevelt was not friend. I'm like, you didn't even like him. He like, yeah, but we end up. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know Chuck. You didn't know Gregory Boo. I'm like, you got your own set of friends. I'm telling him or whatever. I'm like, just the same was Roy, Raymond, all of my friends. Like, all of my friends. You feel me? So he like, it's not like that. I'm like, Ma, he went that Saturday, and I'm like, instead of him just enjoying himself or having a good time, he tell him I'm with Charzetta. So my mama say, not the embarrassment. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but that's not the whole part, Ma. So my dad like, okay, so what's the whole part? Because if he just hang with your friends and say like you're hanging out with a girl, like what's the problem? Like Roosevelt and Gregory Boo is Charzetta. They sisters and brothers. I'm like, Roosevelt is the best friend of them. I'm like, he had something going on Saturday. I said, I lied. I said, me and my mom had something to do. So my mama said, how are you putting me in? You gotta tell me, boy, when you put me in a lie. Don't be just up there throwing my name. Don't be loud. I'm like, no. But I told him that because I knew I didn't want him to feel a type of way because I was hanging with Charzetta instead of going to his thing. But I've been in his thing before. So I said, I didn't know. And I'm like, they was all blowing me up when I was hanging with Charzetta. And I'm like, they was blowing me up because Mark was there singing like a hummingbird and telling them that I was with, nobody knew I was with Charzetta. So my grandpapa said, why you do that, grandson? He like, I didn't know that they didn't know. I'm like, bro, yes, you did. He like, no, I didn't. I'm like, get out my face. My mama said, first off, anybody swinging any arms in here, it would be me. So y'all better not touch each other. I know. Try me, please. Try me out. I'm gonna show you. You would never try me again. Put your hands on each other. Come on. So my dad said, all right, wait. So let me get this right. Marky, you went to Rody Doty's friends event and told them your brother's business. I'm like, right. Ain't that's what you did? He was like, I didn't think about it like that. He like, and I'm sorry. He like, but I had your back when that Dorothy girl. So my mama like, wait, what? Because now y'all talking a different language. What? I'm like, oh yeah. And the Dorothy girl, she approached me at the locker. I almost got suspended, but I'm not. She like, I'm finna come up to that SKU tomorrow. I'm like, no, but I didn't get suspended though. I was about to. She like, how you about to get suspended but not suspended? I'm like, because I had the principal to talk to the teacher. I'm like, and then also tomorrow, I got basketball practice. So I'm like, I'm trying to just catch everybody else. So my grandpapa, he happy I'm on the basketball team. So I'm like, yeah, I end up telling the principal right away. And so like, she's in trouble. My mama said, you pick some and you knock her out. If you see her, this is what I want you to do. She said, you're not going to get in trouble. Are you listening? I said, yes, I'm listening. First off, I'm scared about what you going to say. I'm like, yes, I'm listening. She said, when you see her, I don't care, cafeteria, classroom, in the line, in the hallway, at the locker, in the gym, in the bathroom, wherever she may stand, you grab the heaviest object that's near you, or matter of fact, I want you to take a can to SKU. So I'm like, a can? She like, yeah. Or she said, matter of fact, freeze these eggs. All right, so she gets up. So my dad like, May. She like, no, Al, because you don't see how big that dang old girl is. What is she's eating? What is they feeding her? Steroids? That girl is big, outrageous. That is a man. I don't care what nobody say. Listen, I'm gonna put here 1, 2. So she grabbed 8 eggs and she put it in the freezer. She say in the morning, you gonna put it. I want you to find you your nicest, longest socks. Put them in your warm socks. As soon as you see her in the morning, I want you to crack her right upside the head with it. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. It ain't about what you want to do. I said, dude, you need to make a point because she going to keep with you. And I can't do it for you. Because so it's going to be me or you. Now, how you want to do it? How you want to play it out? I'm like, okay, I put the eggs in. So my grandpa like, but you know that he will be able to get in trouble by doing that. And you will be able to help him get out of it. So I'm like in my mind, like, I'm not going to really do it. But my mom is serious about me doing it. So I don't know. So I'm like, I got mixed feelings. So my mom put it in there or whatever. So my mom asks, now Marky, he ends up going straight to his room, right? So my mom like, hey, before you walk away, that girl, what's her name? I'm like, wait, what girl? The girl that keep coming over here? Nah, we talking about the girl you cooked the chicken for. I'm like, oh, Charzetta, she didn't come over today. Why you didn't bring her over? I'm like, okay, my mama not faking. She really liked this dang old girl. I'm like, yeah, she was doing a volleyball thing. She wanted me to do it. Why you didn't stick around and stay with her? I'm like, it was a lot happening. She like, Dad, she was telling my grandpapa, the girl is drop dead gorgeous. Beautiful. I'm talking about beautiful. I'm talking about just gorgeous. So I goes in my room, right? I check my phone. I see that Roy done hit me up. So I call Roy back. I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, what's good? I'm like, oh, you my friend now since Legs is cool with you? He like, it's nothing like that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like, what's up? He like, I just want to let you know I got some good Afghanistan. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. So he like, but I do want us to talk. I want us to be cool again. I'm like, I don't want to be cool, man. I'm like, I got a lot going on. I'm like, hey, I got to call you back. My mama calling me. Whole time my mama not even calling me. I hang up. So I'm like, I'm going to hit up Gregory Boo, right? I'm going to hit him up. But I never got a chance to do it. So boom, the day progressed. And all of a sudden, Marky come upstairs. He like, bro. I'm like, you can knock before you just straight walk in. He like, I just knew that it was going to be unlocked because mama don't play that. He like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm like, why would you tell? He like, I promise you, I didn't know that they didn't know. I'm like, but you still should have told me that you was over there. So he like, I should have told you. He like, my fault. It won't happen again. I won't hang with nobody in case I'm hanging with you. He like, it did. Augie had brought the gun to the, you know what I'm saying, to the event. I'm like, wait a minute, what? He like, man, I got to hold it. He like, I was shooting it in the air. I'm like, Marky, I'm going to hurt Augie. I'm like, because I don't want you around it, right? So boom, me and Marky, we end up hashing out. We talk. He leaves, right? I shower, getting ready to lay down. My mom, she's out of her jacuzzi. Everybody winding down. We're getting ready for the next day. So as I'm laying down, my phone is like lighting up on my dresser. So I look, I grab it. I'm like, I see it's Charzetta. And it's like, call me ASAP. So I call her. I'm like, yo, what's up? She like, what you got planned for tomorrow? I'm like, none. I'm like, hey, why she, like, I cut her off. I'm like, hey, my mom was looking for you today. She was like, really? I'm like, yeah. She like, I want to come over for a couple of hours. She like, you know, it's my brother's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow. I'm like, oh, for real? I'm like, is he still woke? So she like, yeah. I'm like, matter of fact, let me hit him up. She like, okay. So I hang up from her and I hit him up and I was like, hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to come, you know what I'm saying, to your stuff today. You know, like just, you know, explaining whatever. Like, man, there was a lot going on, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, oh, no, it's good. I'm like, but I get to practice, you know, with y'all tomorrow. I'm like, I heard it's your birthday. He like, yeah, I was going to invite you when I saw you at SKU. I'm like, for sure, for sure. I'm like, I'm definitely gonna come. I'm like, what time it start? He like, it start at 10. I'm like, at night? He like, yeah. He like, everybody gonna be there, like the half of the whole school. He like, some of my other friends off the block. He like, Roosevelt gonna be playing the drums. We're gonna have a, like, it's gonna be lit. He like, we gonna have drinks, smokes. He like, my mom cool with everything. So he like, just come on, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna come, even though your house is nasty. I'm still coming. So boom, the next day come, right? The next day comes. I get ready. I get myself set. I'm getting dressed. So Marky come up. He like, hey. I'm like, yo. I'm like, I know you probably don't care because you know I'm a snap, but Gregory Boo birthday today. You coming with me tonight? So he like, tonight, what time? I'm like 10. He like, but you know your curfew. I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna ask mom, like, can I stay a little later? And it's at Charzetta's house. She like Charzetta. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm finna use a little bit of that power, you feel me? So he like, yeah, I wanna come, right? All right, cool. So he like, hey, you ever called that other number? I'm like, have I ever called the other? I'm like, nah. I'm like, I'm gonna take it with me. So I grabbed a piece of paper that it was written on. I'm like, I'm gonna just put it in my pocket. I'll call it later. So boom, we get to school. We go right in the cafeteria, right? So everybody there like, hey, yo, look, hey, we getting in. So everybody like, happy birthday. Everybody giving them punching them, giving them licks and stuff like that. Everything is copacetic. I gets in my second period, right? It's no Dorothy, right? Good. She's out of here. She's out. Goodbye. Adios, sayonara, see you sucker. Get up out of here. She gone. So boom, I'm end up enjoying my lunch and stuff like that. So the girl Chantel, she comes to me like, you still ain't called that number? I'm like, why you keep stalking me about calling the number? I'm like, it gotta be your number. She like, it's not my number. You want my number? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. And so she like, maybe. I'm like, maybe. So she like, all right, let me know when you for sure. And walked off. I'm like, but a coincidence is I had a number with me. Boom. I enjoyed everything that's going on. We get in fourth period, right? Nothing's happened at lunch. I still don't see Dorothy or nothing like that. That was cool, successful. I sat with the, with the whole slimes and stuff like that, with all the peoples and, stuff like that. Boom. I gets in fourth period. Have a good fourth period. He give us our grades. That's cool. We having a successful day, right? Straight through the whole day. Roosevelt see me at the end of like school. Everybody come over and then Greg come over. He like, hey, I'm like, look, it's practice today, so I gotta stay over, right? So Gregory Boo like, hey, I got practice too, like, cause they give you like different groups, different like you practice differently. So boom, everybody, we go to the gym, and even the people that didn't have to practice, they were just sitting on the bleachers. So it was Marky, Charzetta was there supporting me, and it was overall a good time. So I'm shooting around, just having a blaze time. All right, good time. The trainer was like, hey, you doing good? He like, we got a game that's Friday. Cool, bet. He like, that's gonna be your first, your first game. He like, I just want you to be ready and locked in, like, and just be ready to play. I'm like, okay. He like, you gonna start the game? I'm like, okay. He like, I'm out, right? I'm out. So boom, we get ready to leave out. We all leave out the other door. So everybody like, hey, yo, we meet, come early, come at 8. So in my mind, I'm like, ooh, all right, I could stay to 8 to 10. And then make it home in 30 moments. Like, you know what I'm saying? At 10:30, I'm at the crib. Like, I ain't got to stay while your party going. So boom, I'm like, this girl keeps stressing me to hit this number up, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna hit the number up when I get there. So everybody like, when I'm like, some Chantel girl. So Charzetta was like, Chantel, she got like, her tips is red. I'm like, what? Her hair tips, is it red? I'm like, yeah, it's red. She gave you a number. Let me see. I'm like, nah. If it's probably her number. If it's her number, I got it. I'm like, stop. I'm like, nah, get up out my business. Boom. We end up just lollygagging, playing around. I tell Charzetta, like, hey, you want to come to my crib? Like, and she like, no, I got to get dressed and see what I'm going to wear. She like, but tomorrow, I'm like, I thought you was going to come. She like, maybe tomorrow. I'm like, All right, cool, cool. I'm like, tomorrow, right? So boom, I gone ahead. We go home. Time progress. I'm getting dressed, so I'm letting my mama know, like, hey, Charzette's brother is you know what I'm saying, having a birthday party. So my mom like, okay. She was like, tell Charzette I said hello, blah blah blah. So me and Marky leaves, right? We get down the block or whatever, right? Everything is success. Like, this whole day was good. I didn't see no door. Like, the whole day was just amazing. We get like to the bus stop. Me and Marky, we smoking. So we see Raymond. Raymond just walking the block, just chiefing. He like, yeah, I'm just walking around, just smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like, until my girl get off. So we smoking. So he like, we out finna go. We finna go to a party. So Raymond like, I want to come. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I thought you was waiting on your girl. He like, I tell her I'll be back. He like, how long y'all gonna be gone? I'm like, just for a couple of hours. So Raymond ended up coming with me. So boom, we get on the bus. I'm like, all right, I'm like, y'all, I'm gonna call this number. So Raymond like, call what number? So Marky like, no. Where do we get in the party? Where do we get to the party? He like, cause on the bus you might not be able to hear. He like, so we can all hear it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. We make it to Charzette and them house. Charzette come and open the door. She just looking like soup. Suck me dry. She looking like noodles. She looking like soup, baby. She's looking good. So I'm like, oh, you look beautiful. She like, tell me anything. I'm like, stop. So boom, we come in there. So everybody had like these little red cups, and it was like little small shots, but his mom was there making sure like everybody like wasn't getting overly drunk. So when the mom saw me, she like, hey, Roshan. I'm like, hey. She like, come give me a hug, baby. So I'm like, I just feel so in the family. Like, boom, I give her a hug or whatever. So they like, yo, let's go downstairs. Everybody knew what they wanted to do downstairs. Now, this is downstairs when they don't got no door. When I say they picked the door up and it didn't fit, this is the downstairs. So I'm like, okay, I'm aware about what downstairs gonna bring me because it's dirty in there. We go downstairs. So I'm like, Charzette, you don't smoke? She like, no. She like, I drink a little bit, but not really because of the sports I do. She like, but I heard you got a game. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be in a game. I got a game coming up. I'm like, but I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm like, the rooms are pretty tall. And so she was like, don't worry about that. She was like, I'm gonna be there to support you. I'm like, you better be, because you a cheerleader. She like, yeah, I was thinking about withdrawing back from that because I do so many sports and I want to just focus on the few sports that I love the most. And I'm like, I understood that. I'm like, you better be supporting me. She like, what? I am. And then plus my brother play on the team. I'm like, okay. She like, and Roosevelt, my friend. I'm like, all right. Whoa. Don't shoot. No. Okay, I ain't nobody special. So Chantel, I see Chantel and you know what I'm saying, they're down there. And she was like, yo, somebody roll my blunt. Somebody come on, roll my blunt, dude, roll. Like she was telling them to roll it because she didn't know how to roll it. She said she only just be rolling joints. So I was like, right in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, Raymond, hey, Marky, come here. So they come, and so Charzette, she just right there. So I'm looking, so I'm like, hey, and so I'm like, Roosevelt, I'm like, I'm finna get ready to call this number. He like, all right. I'm like, that's why we dipped off. I'm like, you want to come up over here? Like, I'm telling like, you want to come up over here with me? He like, no, you know what I'm saying? He like, cause we finna start a session over here. He like, y'all just come up here. Nah, so I'm like, telling Raymond and Mark like to come here. So we kind of go back up the stairs. So I'm pressing the number that's on the paper. So Marky like, yo, and just be ready to put on speakerphone. I'm like, all right. So I'm pressing the number. As I'm pressing some of the numbers, Gregory Boo name is coming up. So I'm like, wait, what? So I backed it up. So Marky like, what's wrong? I'm like, every time I press the number, I'm like, hold on, wait, this can't be. And then it was coming up as number. I'm like, why was Chantel? So immediately I went to Chantel. I say, who gave you this note? And she was like, oh, him. And it was Roosevelt. So I was like, Roosevelt, you gave Chantel a note? He like, oh, yeah, I did. I'm like, for what? He like, oh, that was your crush. I'm like, who is my crush? I'm like, is they in here right now? He like, yeah. I'm like, is it a girl or a boy? So he like, hold on. So he walk away. So Marky laughing. Whole time Marky laughing. So he go over there and he talk to Gregory boo. So Greg, he telling me like to come here. Right? He telling me to come here. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? He like, oh, yeah. So I know this might come off a little bit like weird or off. I'm like, what you talk about?